Please, hold my hand. I'm scared. Liam Rhodes stopped walking. The night was bitter cold, Boston's kind of cold, where the wind knifed through every layer and even your thoughts came out frozen. The Kenmore subway station was nearly empty, its lights flickering, its walls stained by years of grime. But her voice, small, trembling, cut through it all. He turned slowly. A little black girl sat alone on the metal bench, legs dangling, thin arms wrapped tightly around a pink backpack with a torn strap. Her left cheek bore a dark birthmark, almost heart-shaped, just below her eye. It was the first thing he saw. The second thing? Her eyes. Wide. Hollowed. Not the eyes of a child full of wonder, but of someone who had learned that people break things, especially little girls. Please, she whispered again, clutching the frayed sleeves of her hoodie. I don't want to go home. Something about the way she said home made Liam's stomach twist. It didn't sound like a safe place. It sounded like a cage. He took a cautious step forward. Where are your parents? My mom says I'm not her daughter. The girl didn't cry. She said it like a fact. She says God gave her a princess and a curse. I'm the curse. Liam was speechless. She added, I have a twin sister. Her name's Alicia. She's pretty. No birthmark. She gets to go to school, to have lunch, to sleep in the warm room. I sleep by the water heater. He blinked, stunned. My mom says Alicia is her miracle baby. Me? I was the leftover. The mistake. The girl raised her chin. But I don't cry anymore. I just go when she says go. A long silence passed between them. What's your name? Liam asked. Anna, she replied. But sometimes she calls me ugly instead. Depends if she's drinking. Liam's hands clenched inside his coat pockets. This wasn't something he'd been prepared for tonight. Hell, this wasn't something anyone should be prepared for. Are you hungry, Anna? She hesitated, then gave a small nod. I haven't eaten since Alicia's birthday. She looked down. That was last week. Jesus. Liam muttered under his breath. Come on. He reached out his hand. Anna didn't move. You're not gonna take me back there, are you? Her voice dropped. She said if I ever leave again, I'll go to hell, but I already think I'm there. Liam knelt so he was eye level. I'm not taking you back there. I promise. Anna finally put her small, cold hand in his. The diner was half empty and smelled of old bacon, grease, and cinnamon. Liam brought Anna to a corner booth, away from the windows. The waitress, a heavy-set woman in her 50s, glanced between them with curiosity but said nothing beyond a gentle, What can I get you, sweetheart? Anna asked. Can I have pancakes and maybe eggs too? You can have anything you want, Liam said, and handed back the menu without even looking. While they waited, Anna traced circles on the table with her finger. She bought Alicia a cake, she said softly, with pink icing and sprinkles. I asked for one bite and she slapped me, said I should be grateful I even got to smell it. Anna, Liam started, unsure what to say. She lets Alicia wear nice dresses. My clothes used to be hers. But only after they got too small or stained. One time, I found a new hoodie in her closet. I wore it. My mom cut it up with scissors while I was still wearing it. The waitress returned, setting down a steaming plate of food. Anna thanked her with a small, practiced smile. You know what I used to do when I got too hungry? Anna asked between bites. I'd chew on my sleeve. Pretend it was pizza. Stupid, huh? No, Liam said, voice low. Not stupid. Just heartbreaking. Anna looked up at him. Do you think it's possible God gave her 2 daughters on purpose? She asked. One for her to love and one for her to hate. Liam shook his head slowly. No, Anna. I think some people break what they're given because they don't know how to care for anything good. She stared for a moment. You don't talk like the others. What others? Social workers. They all say it's gonna be okay, but it never is. Liam didn't offer empty words. He just pushed the plate of pancakes closer to her. Later that night, in his penthouse overlooking a snowy city, Anna walked hesitantly across the marble floor, her small footsteps barely making a sound. Liam handed her a fluffy robe and showed her the guest bedroom. She paused at the doorway, She said if I ever told anyone about what she did, no one would believe me. That I'm just a jealous twin. Liam Kelt again, at eye level. I believe you. Tears welled in her eyes for the first time. Do you have a daughter? She asked. I did, he answered. Her name was Caroline. Did you love her? With everything I had. Anna swallowed. Would you have still loved her? If she had a mark on her face? Liam's throat tightened. He cupped her cheek gently on the side with the birthmark. Especially then, she fell into his arms without another word. That night, as Liam stood alone in his study, he stared at Caroline's old swing set visible through the snow-covered terrace window. A photo of her age 10, gap-toothed, muddy sneakers, sat in a silver frame on his desk. He thought of Anna's trembling voice. She gets to eat. I get to smell it. If this story moves something in you, remember, there are many more voices waiting to be heard. Stories that don't just entertain, but remind us of what it means to care, to believe, and to see others fully. Stay close. The next chapter is coming, and it might just be the one you needed to hear. He thought of the mark on her face, of the cruel hierarchy her own mother built between two little girls who shared the same womb. He had intended to call CPS the next day. Now he wasn't so sure that was enough. As he turned off the lights and prepared to rest, Anna's voice echoed from the hallway. Mr. Liam? He opened the door. She stood there, blanket wrapped around her, eyes half shut. If I were your daughter, would I get pancakes every day? He smiled softly. No, he said. You'd get pancakes, waffles, French toast, and anything else your heart wanted. Anna grinned faintly, then disappeared into the guest room, and for the first time in years, Liam felt the world shift just slightly back into alignment. The soft sound of snow hitting glass filled the penthouse as dawn crept in, painting the Boston skyline in pale gray and gold. Liam sat at the kitchen counter, a mug of untouched black coffee steaming in front of him. His phone lay silent beside it, though notifications from board members, reporters, and the charity gala buzzed through the night. He had ignored them all. The door to the guest room creaked. Anna stepped out, wearing the oversized robe he'd given her and rubbing her eyes. I woke up and thought it was all a dream, she said sleepily. But then I smelled bacon, Liam chuckled. It's not a dream. And yes, bacon's real too. She walked over slowly, as if afraid she'd break the moment just by moving too quickly. When she climbed onto one of the high bar stools, she asked, Are you cooking? I have zero skills in that department. Chef Margaret comes during the week. But this, he lifted the lid on a small electric skillet, is what you get when a billionaire tries breakfast. Anna leaned forward dramatically, sniffed. It smells expensive. Liam laughed, a genuine one this time. They ate in relative silence, though not the heavy kind. Anna occasionally poked her scrambled eggs, murmuring, These taste way better than school food. Liam let her talk as much or as little as she wanted. He'd learned that trust wasn't a light switch, it was a slow trickle from a rusted pipe. After breakfast, Anna explored cautiously. She paused in front of a bookshelf filled with old legal volumes and tech startup biographies. Her fingers brushed across a photo of Liam with his late wife and daughter. Is that her? She asked. Liam joined her. Yes, that's Caroline. She would have been 12 now. She looked happy. She was, he said. Then after a pause, she had a big laugh, the kind that made strangers smile. Anna touched the frame, then whispered, I don't laugh like that. Mama said my voice is sharp. Like a broken violin. Liam felt a dull ache in his chest. Your voice is yours, and that makes it perfect. She looked up at him. You say nice things. Do you mean them, or are you just trying to make me feel better? I never say anything I don't mean. Anna thought for a moment. Then I think you should keep saying stuff. Even the small things. Liam gave her a soft nod. Later that morning, while Anna played with one of Caroline's old stuffed bears, Dusty, the threadbare raccoon, Liam stepped into his study and called CPS. The hold music played for 8 full minutes. Finally, a tired voice answered. Boston Child Protective Services. This is Ellen. Yes. My name is Liam Rhodes. I'm calling about a child who, well, I found her last night at Kenmore Station. She says she ran away from an abusive household. Is the child in immediate danger? Number, she's safe with me now. But He paused, glancing at the living room where Anna was carefully arranging Dusty into a napkin fort. I'd like to file a report, and I'd like to speak with someone about temporary guardianship. Name of the child? Anna. I don't know her last name yet. There was a clicking of keys. We have multiple Annas in our system. Do you have any other information? She said she has a twin sister named Alicia. Their mother favors Alicia and treats Anna poorly. A long pause. Yes, I think I know the case. Anna Jefferson. She's had several CPS interventions, but each time, the mother convinces the court she's improving. And the child is often too afraid to testify. Liam's voice hardened. Well, she's not going back. Not this time. Mr. Rhodes, I understand your concern, but unless there's fresh medical evidence or an emergency order, we can't keep her from her legal guardian. The court won't approve removal without new documentation. I'm not asking for bureaucracy. I'm offering protection. I'll escalate the report, the woman said. But I must advise you, housing her without consent for more than 24 hours could be seen as unlawful custody. Liam ended the call with a knot in his stomach. He returned to the living room, where Anna had made a crown out of folded napkins. Your Highness, he said, bowing slightly. Permission to speak freely? She grinned and waved him in. He sat beside her carefully. Anna, do you know your last name? She nodded. Jefferson, do you know your mom's full name? Marisa Jefferson. Liam wrote it down on a notepad. Thank you, that helps. Anna's smile faded. Are you going to send me back? He didn't answer right away. I want to keep you safe, but I need to do it the right way. Right way means letting them take me back so they can investigate while I get hit again. Her voice trembled. I know how this works. I've lived it. She stood and walked to the window. Snow was still falling. Her reflection birthmark and all looked older than her 7 years. She said I ruined her life, Anna said softly. That she should have swallowed me. That I was the reason Dad left. Liam's hands curled into fists. She made me sleep outside once. Middle of January. I tried to cry, but my tears froze on my face. I thought maybe I'd die. And you know what she said the next morning? Liam shook his head. She said, still alive? What a shame. He stood and walked over to her. That will never happen again. Anna looked up at him. Even if they come for me? He nodded. Even then, she reached into her backpack and pulled out a small crumpled drawing stick figures holding hands, with the words "My real family" scribbled at the top. This was just pretend before, she said. But now, I want it to be real. Liam crouched beside her. So do I. He didn't know how he was going to do it, not legally, not safely, but in that moment, something shifted in him. No longer was Anna just a child in need. She was his responsibility, not because he had to, but because she had chosen to trust him. And Liam Rhodes, once broken by loss, wasn't about to break that trust. Not now. Not ever. It was just past noon when Jasmine Green arrived at Liam's penthouse. She stepped out of the elevator with the efficiency of someone who'd organized Liam's life for over a decade, but today, her calm was laced with curiosity. You missed every call and canceled the board brunch. That's not like you, she said as she set her handbag down. And then you text me. Bring kids' clothes. Age 7. Pajamas too. You want to tell me what's going on? Liam looked up from the kitchen island, where Anna sat silently, coloring on a pad of sticky notes. Jasmine, meet Anna. She's staying here, for now. Anna glanced up, then quickly looked back down, hiding the birthmark with her hand. Jasmine raised an eyebrow, then walked slowly toward the girl. She knelt, so her eyes were level with Anna's. Hey, sweetheart, I'm Jasmine, she said gently. I work for this grumpy guy here. Did he feed you something weird, like oysters for breakfast? Anna giggled softly. It was the first sound of joy she'd made since waking. Liam exhaled. She was at Kenmore Station, alone, freezing. Said someone was following her. He said, she's run away from home. The more I learn, the worse it gets. Her mother's abusive. Twin sister gets everything. Anna gets the scraps. Jasmine's smile vanished. She stood, arms crossing. And you called CPS? They've opened a report, but they won't remove her unless there's fresh evidence. He paused, then added, She told me about sleeping outside in winter. Being hit. Denied food. Told she was a mistake. Jasmine closed her eyes briefly, then nodded. I brought 3 bags, some clothes, school supplies, a comforter with unicorns, and a stuffed llama named George. Liam smiled. You always think ahead. I think sideways. It's how we survive in this city. She looked at Anna again. Can I show you the stuff I brought? Anna hesitated, then nodded. Do you have socks? Warm ones? Jasmine smiled. I brought fuzzy socks. Purple ones with stars. That was all it took. Anna followed her into the guest room, where Jasmine opened the bags and laid everything out like a treasure chest. As Anna held up a glittery sweater with a tag still on, she whispered, No one's ever bought me new clothes before. Jasmine's throat tightened. Then it's about time, isn't it? In the hallway, Liam watched them, arms folded. Something in his chest shifted, a feeling unfamiliar and steady. Not obligation. Not pity. Something closer to protective purpose. After Anna had chosen her new clothes and disappeared into the bathroom to change, Jasmine turned to him. You know this isn't just going to go away, she said. If the mother finds out where she is, she could twist the narrative, make you the villain. I know. You're a billionaire, Liam. Which means everything you do is under a microscope. You shelter a child without custody. And the press will call it kidnapping with a halo. She's not going back, he said quietly. Whatever it takes. I'm not sending her back to that woman. Jasmine nodded. Then we need to think bigger. That afternoon, Liam called Dr. Louise Bennett, a pediatrician and friend from his charity board. She agreed to come by for a house call. Anna sat nervously on the edge of the guest room bed while Dr. Bennett unpacked her bag. Have you been to a doctor recently, Anna? The woman asked kindly. Anna shook her head. Mama says only pretty girls get checkups. I'm not worth the copay. Dr. Bennett didn't flinch. She simply smiled. Well, you're worth my time today. She examined Anna gently, speaking softly, pausing for consent. As she lifted Anna's shirt to check her ribs, both women gasped. Dark, faded bruises stretched across her sides. Old scars crisscrossed her back, thin lines, like belt marks. Liam stood nearby, fists clenched, jaw tight. Dr. Bennett looked at him. Photograph everything. This is your evidence. Anna froze. Am I in trouble? No, Liam said immediately. You're safe, but this helps us keep you safe for good. Dr. Bennett continued. Has anyone ever taken pictures of your injuries before? Anna shook her head. Mama says nobody cares about what you can't prove. Liam crouched beside her. Well, now we're going to prove everything. Later, while Jasmine downloaded the photos and sent them securely to CPS, Anna sat with Liam in the living room, hugging George the llama. Do you think people can change? She asked suddenly. Liam tilted his head. What do you mean? My mom, sometimes she's nice. When other people are around, she kisses Alicia and gives her candy. But the minute they leave, she hits me, or screams, and then says, See, look what you make me do. Liam didn't know how to answer that. Not with a lie. Some people pretend they've changed, but the truth comes out when no one's watching. Anna nodded slowly. So she's only nice when there's a camera. Liam looked at her. But you? You've been real this whole time. She rested her head on his arm. Will you still like me if I cry sometimes? Or if I don't smile in pictures? He placed a hand over hers. Anna, I will still care about you even if you cry every day, never smile, and hate pancakes. Anna gasped. I could never hate pancakes. He grinned. Well, then we're already off to a good start. That evening, as the snow piled higher, Jasmine received a call from the CPS contact. They reviewed the photos, she said, hanging up. They're flagging it as a high-risk case. The mother's past record, combined with these new findings, may finally get them to act. Liam nodded, but he wasn't celebrating yet. Will they take Anna? He asked. They'll want to put her in temporary foster care until the hearing. No, he said flatly. She's staying here, I'll fight it. You'll need a lawyer, a damn good one. I'll call Rivera. Jasmine blinked. The civil rights attorney? From D.C.? He owes me a favor. Jasmine exhaled. Then you better use it, because if this goes public, I'll handle it. He turned and saw Anna in the hallway, clutching the drawing she'd made. I don't want to be someone's case file, she whispered. I just want to be wanted. Liam crossed the room, knelt, and looked her in the eye. You're not a case. You're not a mistake. You're not leftovers. Anna stared. You're Anna, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. She wrapped her arms around his neck and held on tight. That night, as Liam watched her sleep with George tucked under her arm and the unicorn blanket pulled to her chin, he knew. He had faced CEOs, investors, and senators, but the real battle was just beginning. And this time, he wasn't fighting for profit. He was fighting for a little girl who'd been invisible her whole life. Until now, Liam stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows of his penthouse, watching the snow melt under the pale afternoon sun. Below, the city moved on like nothing had changed. But everything had. For him. For Anna. Behind him, the television played low, a local news anchor reading off reports of last-minute shopping madness and delayed flights. Nothing about a little girl named Anna Jefferson. Nothing about a mother named Marissa. But Liam knew it was only a matter of time. He turned as the elevator chimed. Rivera stepped in, shaking snow off his long wool coat. His energy was the kind that made boardrooms fall silent. Late 40s, steel-gray beard, eyes sharp and unblinking. You look like hell, he said without preamble. I feel worse. Rivera scanned the space, his gaze pausing at the guest room door. She here? She's sleeping. She gets tired fast. Like her body's still waiting for the next blow. Rivera's jaw tightened. Let's get to it. They sat at the kitchen island. Jasmine had already laid out folders, CPS, case files, photos from the medical exam, a printed timeline of events. Everything organized. Rivera flipped through silently. Then, this is bad. The mother's record is messy, multiple calls, one temporary removal, then reinstatement. Reinstated? Liam asked. With that kind of record? Rivera nodded grimly. She played the system well. Therapy sessions, fake tears, church letters, and the courts are overwhelmed. They like it tidy. A pretty twin daughter, a mother who cries in the right places, and a difficult child with behavioral issues. It's easy to sweep the rest under the rug. She's not difficult, Liam said, voice rising. She's scarred. Rivera looked up. I'm not the one you have to convince. Liam exhaled and lowered his voice. So, what's our next move? We petition for emergency guardianship. I'll file it under protective custody with intent to adopt. You've got the money, the stable environment, and we have new evidence. The court might fast-track it, especially if I push it hard. Jasmine chimed in. CPS is on standby for a decision within 72 hours. But they may still try to place her with a foster family in the meantime. No, Liam said flatly. She stays here. Rivera raised a brow. Then we need a temporary restraining order against the mother. Can we get one? If we act now, yes, but you need to understand, Marissa will fight. And if she gets wind of what's happening, she'll spin a narrative. What kind of narrative? That you manipulated a traumatized child for personal gain. That you exploited her to play hero. Maybe worse. Liam's fists curled. Let her try. Just then, Anna peeked out of the guest room, her new purple hoodie drooping off one shoulder. Mr. Liam? He turned instantly, softening. Morning. Sunshine. Huh. Anna stepped into the room, rubbing her eyes. Is that your friend? Rivera stood. I'm someone who helps people. When the system forgets to. She gave him a long, quiet look, then nodded. You can stay. Jasmine smiled behind her mug. Anna climbed onto the stool next to Liam. I had a dream that Mama found me here. She pulled my hair and told me I'd ruined Alicia's life. Then she burned my drawings. Liam bent slightly, so their eyes met. That was a dream. She's not coming near you. Huh. Anna didn't reply, but she leaned into him. Rivera watched, his demeanor shifting just a touch. I'll get the paperwork started today, but if she comes to the media first, We'll need to be ready. This could get ugly. I don't care, Liam said. You should, because she will. 2 days later, the first article appeared. It wasn't from a major outlet, just a viral blog post titled, "Where is Anna Jefferson? Mother pleads for return of missing twin." Vrew. The photo showed Marissa posing with Alicia, both smiling. Alicia wore a white fur-trimmed dress. Marissa looked the part, composed, wounded. The article claimed Anna had a history of wandering and mental instability. It painted her as troubled, unpredictable, possibly dangerous. Liam read it twice, every word stinging. "She's playing it perfectly," Jasmine said, tossing the tablet aside. "She's making herself the victim." Anna sat on the couch, silent. "Am I crazy?" she asked suddenly. Liam turned sharply. "Number God. No, because Mama says I make up stories, that I dream things that didn't happen. Sometimes I almost believe her." Rivera, who had just walked in, crouched in front of her. "Anna, I've worked with dozens of kids like you, and I can tell when someone's telling the truth. You're not crazy. You're brave." Anna nodded but said nothing more. That evening, Liam received a call. It was the CPS field agent. "We've received a formal custody challenge," she said. "The mother's hired an attorney. They're demanding Anna be returned immediately." Liam didn't blink. "She's not going anywhere." "Mr. Rhodes, legally." "I said she's not going." There was a pause. "Then you'll need to appear in court. 2 days. Judge Holloway, Family Division." Liam hung up and turned to Rivera. "Let's go to war." That night, Liam found Anna in the guest room. She was sitting on the bed, drawing again. This time, a picture of a courtroom. Stick figures. One had a cape. "Who's that?" Liam asked. "That's you," she said, pointing to the figure in the cape. "You're the one standing in front of me." He smiled, then noticed the second figure smaller, standing behind him, holding a sign that read, "I believe her." "And that?" he asked. "That's me. But I'm not scared this time." Liam felt his chest tighten. She handed him the drawing. "You can keep it, so you don't forget." I won't forget," he said. "Ever." As she settled into bed, Anna looked up at him one last time. "Promise me one thing. Anything. Don't stop standing in front of me." Liam leaned down and kissed her forehead. "I won't. Not tomorrow. Not ever." The courthouse on Winter Street had a certain smell to it, a mix of aging carpet, institutional coffee, and dust that hadn't been disturbed since the 1982nd. Liam Rhodes had been in more federal buildings than he could count, but today, this place felt heavier. Not because of the walls, but because of who was walking beside him. Anna gripped his hand tightly as they entered through security. She wore her new pink jacket, the birthmark on her face uncovered. No more hiding. She had insisted. "If they want to see me, they're going to see all of me," she'd said. "Are you nervous?" he asked, crouching a bit so she wouldn't have to look up so far. "I was. Then I saw her." Liam turned. Down the hall, standing in a cream-colored coat and flanked by a thin, sharp-eyed lawyer, was Marissa Jefferson. She looked perfect, like grief packaged in pearls. "Alicia's not with her," Anna said. "She only brings her when she wants attention." Rivera joined them, dressed in charcoal gray, his briefcase loaded with affidavits, medical reports, CPS evaluations, and the photographs. Jasmine trailed close behind, holding a second file. Liam had brought them both. He didn't need backup. He needed truth armor. "Judge Holloway is fair but cautious," Rivera whispered. "We don't speak unless asked. Let me do the talking. We'll present the documentation. And above all, do not react to anything she says." Anna gave a single nod, her shoulders straighter than they'd ever been. They entered courtroom 2B, small, beige, sterile. The kind of place where families shattered with no sound. The bailiff called the case. Commonwealth fee, Rhodes' temporary guardianship hearing for minor Anna Jefferson. Liam sat beside Rivera. Anna sat between them, clutching her sketchbook like a lifeline. Judge Holloway, a woman in her 60s with silver hair and tired eyes, looked down from the bench. "Miss Jefferson," she began, You filed this emergency hearing to contest the temporary custody of your daughter. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor, Marissa said, voice trembling. I'm here to get my child back. She was taken by this man without my knowledge. She's confused. She's emotionally troubled. She ran away after a small disagreement. Liam bit the inside of his cheek so hard he tasted blood. Rivera stood. Your Honor, with respect, the child did not run from confusion. She ran from abuse. We have documented medical evidence of long-term physical neglect, emotional trauma, and inconsistent CPS intervention. Mr. Rhodes provided emergency shelter only after the child approached him in fear, alone, in a public space. Judge Holloway leaned forward. Is the child present? Rivera looked to Anna. She stood up, sketchbook still in hand. Come here, dear, the judge said softly. Anna walked forward slowly, the entire room watching her every step. Liam watched her too, breath caught in his chest. When she reached the stand, the judge gave a reassuring smile. Anna, do you understand why you're here today? Anna nodded. Because she wants me back. Do you want to go back? Anna's eyes didn't move from the judge's face. No, ma'am. Can you tell me why? Anna opened the sketchbook and turned it toward the judge. It was a new drawing, 2 stick girls, one with a crown and a cake, the other standing outside in the rain, holding nothing. This is me and Alicia. Alicia gets everything. I get hit. She tells me I ruin things, that God made a mistake by giving her 2 daughters. She told me not to cry because no one loves a loud, ugly girl. Silence filled the courtroom. Marissa stood up sharply. She's exaggerating. She's always had trouble. The judge held up a hand. You'll be given time to speak. Miss Jefferson, Anna continued. Mr. Liam didn't take me. I asked him for help. I didn't want to sleep on the subway again. The last time I ran, a man followed me into the tunnel. He had a knife. I think... She stopped. I think bad things were going to happen. Liam's jaw clenched again. I want to stay where I can breathe, and eat, and not have to hide the drawings I make. The judge nodded slowly. Thank you, Anna. You may sit. Anna returned to the table, visibly shaking. Liam put an arm around her shoulder. She didn't pull away. Marissa's attorney rose. Your Honor, while the child's words are compelling, she is 7. Her memory and perception may be clouded. Miss Jefferson has complied with every CPS mandate. This man is not a relative. He had no legal right to house the child without informing her mother immediately. Rivera stood calmly. We did inform CPS. Within the hour, we submitted documentation. And while Mr. Rhodes is not a relative, he is a registered benefactor to over a dozen child welfare programs across the state. His home is monitored, secure, safe. He laid down the photos, the x-rays, the school reports. These aren't the drawings of a confused child. These are the scars of a forgotten one. Judge Holloway reviewed each document in silence. After several moments, she spoke. I will not issue an order for Anna's return to her biological mother at this time. Marissa Gospt. I am granting Mr. Rhodes temporary guardianship for 60 days, pending further review and a full investigation. During this time, Anna will remain under his care. CPS will perform weekly wellness checks. Marissa stood, voice rising. This is unfair. He's buying her, just like he buys everything else. Judge Holloway fixed her with a glare. Miss Jefferson, one more outburst, and I will hold you in contempt. Liam closed his eyes. 60 days. Not forever, but it was time. Time to give Anna what she had never had. Safety. As they exited the courtroom, cameras flashed. News had broken. The blog post had reached mainstream attention. Reporters lined the sidewalk. Liam shielded Anna with his coat as Rivera and Jasmine cleared a path. Inside the car, Anna stared out the window. She's going to be mad. Really mad. Yes, Liam said. But she can't hurt you anymore. Anna looked up at him. Do you think she'll forget about me now? Liam reached into his coat and pulled out her drawing of the superhero in court. Number. But I think you're going to grow into someone she can't touch, no matter how hard she tries. Anna smiled softly. You still have it, Joe. I'll always have it. The car rolled forward, away from the courthouse, away from the courtroom where truth had found a foothold. And for the first time in her life, Anna didn't feel invisible. She felt seen, protected, heard. And that, for now, was enough. The 60 days had just begun, but Liam knew they would pass like sand slipping through desperate fingers. Every morning, he watched Anna for signs of healing, of peace, of trust settling into her bones instead of fear. Some days she woke up smiling. Other days she didn't want to speak until noon. He let her set the pace. He didn't push. He just stayed close. On the 5th morning, Liam came into the kitchen to find Anna sitting on the floor with George the llama in her lap, flipping through a worn photo album she must have pulled from the lower cabinet. Is this your family? She asked, not looking up. Liam crouched beside her. The photo she was staring at showed his late wife, Rachel, holding their daughter Caroline at her 3rd birthday. Cake on her face, icing on her curls. That's Caroline, he said softly. She loved messy birthdays. Anna pointed to Rachel. She was pretty. She looks kind. She was both. And fierce when she needed to be. Anna turned the page. Do you ever get mad at God? Liam blinked at the question. Sometimes. She nodded slowly. Me too. I used to ask him why I had to look like this. Meh. She touched the birthmark on her cheek with 2 fingers. Alicia doesn't have one. So Mama says I was the defective one. She said I looked like punishment. Liam didn't answer right away. Then he said, I think God doesn't make mistakes. But sometimes, people do. Terrible ones. Anna turned another page, finding a photo of Caroline in a Halloween costume, a tiny firefighter, boots 2 sizes too big. I think if she were here, Anna whispered, she would have played with me. Liam felt something crack inside his chest. She would have adored you. Anna leaned her head on his shoulder. Can I stay in that room forever? The guest one? You can call it your room now. She smiled just a little. Later that day, Jasmine arrived with 2 garment bags and a box from a boutique downtown. Did I miss a dress code memo? Liam asked, raising an eyebrow. No, Jasmine replied. I got a call this morning. Channel 7 wants to interview you for their Sunday night segment. Not just about the guardianship, they want to do a feature on your community work, your late daughter's foundation, and Anna. Liam stiffened. Anna's not ready for cameras. She wouldn't be the focus, Jasmine assured. But her presence, it humanizes everything. The case is getting national attention, Liam. They're already framing you as the billionaire who rescued the forgotten twin. I didn't rescue her, he said quietly. She asked me to hold her hand. Anna appeared in the hallway, hair half brushed, holding her sketch pad. Do I have to be on television? She asked. No, Liam replied immediately. She paused. But if I say something, will people believe me this time? He looked at her, surprised. Do you want to say something? I want them to know I'm not invisible. Jasmine smiled faintly. Then let's get you something fabulous to wear. The television studio was colder than Anna expected. She wore a navy blue dress with silver stars and clutched George the llama in her arms. The news anchor, a warm-voiced woman named Andrea, knelt beside her before the cameras rolled. Just be yourself, Andrea said kindly. You don't have to answer anything you don't want to. Anna nodded. The interview started with Liam, discussing the foundation he started in Caroline's name, his work with underserved schools, and eventually, Anna. Andrea leaned in gently. Mr. Rhodes, you've taken in a child you had no prior connection to. What drove that decision? Liam glanced at Anna, who sat just off camera. Because when a child tells you she's scared, and you're the only one listening, you don't walk away. Not if you have a soul. Andrea turned to Anna. Would you like to say something, sweetheart? Anna looked at Liam. He nodded once. She took a breath. My name is Anna Jefferson. I'm 7. I like drawing, pancakes, and purple socks. A light chuckle from the crew. She continued. My mom used to say I made everything worse. But I think I make some things better. She turned slightly toward the camera. I'm not a mistake. I'm not a shadow. Silence fell over the room. I want kids like me to know. Sometimes people hurt you and say it's your fault. But it's not. And if someone's mean to you at home, it doesn't mean the world will be too. Liam blinked hard, swallowing. Andrea, visibly moved, cleared her throat. You are very brave, Anna. Anna shrugged, clutching George tighter. I'm just tired of being quiet. That night, the segment aired. Messages poured in. Parents, teachers, pastors. Some thanking Liam. Others demanding to adopt Anna themselves. A few criticized him, of course said it was a PR stunt, called it white savior nonsense. But they didn't know the whole story. They hadn't seen Anna's ribs, or her sketchbooks. Marissa's lawyer issued a statement within hours, calling the interview a media manipulation tactic, claiming Marissa had always provided for both her daughters equally. Anna watched the clip of the statement, then asked, "Can you lie on television and not get in trouble?" "People do it all the time," Liam said. "But truth has a longer life." She grinned. "That sounds like something Caroline would have said." He smiled. "She probably would have said it sassier." Anna looked out the window. "Do you think she'd be okay with me using her room?" Liam turned to her. "Would you like that? I don't need it all. Maybe just the bed. And one shelf. It's yours." That night, long after Anna had gone to sleep, Liam sat at Caroline's desk, now Anna's, and looked through the papers Rivera had delivered. Court date. Set. Final custody hearing. Just 3 weeks away. Outside, snow was beginning to fall again. He glanced at the drawing Anna had left on the desk. This one showed a tall figure in a suit holding hands with a little girl wearing a crown. Underneath, in careful block letters, "Real family. Chosen, not assigned." Liam closed his eyes. He had lost one daughter, but somehow, by fate or grace, or something in between, he had found another. And this time, he wouldn't let anyone take her away. The knock came early, too early for a normal visitor, but far too purposeful for it to be an accident. Liam was still in sweats, pouring coffee, when Jasmine opened the door with a cautious look. Two figures stood in the hallway. One wore a suit, clipboard in hand, the other a black turtleneck under her CPS badge. Behind them, Marissa Jefferson. Liam's breath stopped. "Mr. Rhodes," the man said smoothly. "I'm Agent Colin Braxley with Family Services. This is Supervisor Helena Key from the Child Welfare Division. We're here to conduct a wellness check." Liam's eyes narrowed. "At 7:30 in the morning?" Quay spoke up. "Your recent media appearance accelerated public attention. Miss Jefferson has filed a claim of bias and coercion. We're obligated to verify the child's well-being on site." Jasmine stepped between them. "Where's your warrant?" "And she's not just the child. Her name is Anna." "We don't need a warrant," Braxley replied calmly. "You have temporary guardianship, not full custody. We are legally entitled to access." Behind them, Marissa said nothing, but her eyes locked on Liam like daggers. There was no hysteria, no screaming, just calculation. She was playing a long game. Liam moved aside slowly. "You'll find what you're looking for. But if you scare her, I swear, no need for threats, sir. We're here to observe, nothing more." As the agents walked in, Anna appeared at the top of the stairs in fuzzy socks and a hoodie 3 sizes too big. She blinked at the visitors, then saw her mother. Her breath caught audibly. Marissa smiled sweetly. "Aye, baby." Anna didn't move. Supervisor Quay knelt. "Anna, we're just here to see how you're doing. Can we talk in your room for a few minutes?" Anna looked at Liam, silently asking. He nodded once. She hesitated, then led them upstairs. Marissa tried to follow, but Jasmine blocked her. "Not without permission. I gave birth to her," Marissa snapped. "Exactly," Jasmine said, "which is why you're not going anywhere near her unsupervised." Upstairs, Anna sat on the bed, hugging George the llama. Braxley scanned the room, noting drawings taped to the walls, a stack of books, a fresh school schedule printed on the desk. "You have a nice space here," Key said gently. "Do you feel safe?" Anna nodded slowly. "I do now. Has Mr. Rhodes ever yelled at you? Touched you in a way that made you feel uncomfortable?" Anna looked shocked. "No, he gave me socks and pancakes, and my own toothbrush." Braxley blinked. "Just to clarify, did he ever suggest you say negative things about your mother?" "No," Anna said, voice tightening. "But I told him anyway. Because she made me sleep in the bathtub last winter. No blanket." Key wrote something down. "Did she ever apologize after hurting you?" "She said I should be grateful, because she didn't give me away." A long pause. Braxley cleared his throat. "That's all for now, Anna." "Thank you, Ma." As they left the room, Anna said softly, "Don't let her take me." Quay looked back at her. "We'll do what's best. I promise." Back downstairs, the agents handed Liam a form. "We will recommend extending temporary custody. But this must be finalized in court," Key said. "However, Miss Jefferson is within her rights to request visitation." "Supervised?" Liam asked. "Yes, and by law, you cannot refuse." Liam's jaw clenched. "When?" "Tomorrow afternoon. Here." Marissa raised her eyebrows, smug. "I'll bring her favorite cookies." Liam didn't look at her. "She doesn't eat those anymore." As they left, Anna crept down the stairs. "What did they say?" "They're recommending you stay here," Liam said carefully. "But your mother, she has the right to see you." "For now." Anna's face went pale. "Here, in this house? I'll be in the room. She can't touch you." Anna nodded, but something changed in her posture. That tight, silent brace she used to carry in her shoulders, it returned. That night, she didn't eat much. She didn't draw. She lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Liam sat on the floor beside her bed, arms wrapped around his knees. "She won't win," he said quietly. "You're not going back." Anna turned her head toward him. "Do you promise? Like for real?" "I swear," she whispered. "Then stay right there, just until I sleep." Had did. The next day, the apartment was cleaned top to bottom. Jasmine set up recording equipment in the corners of the room legally approved. Rivera sent an assistant to observe, clip-on camera hidden behind a blazer button. At exactly 3 p.m., the doorbell rang. Anna sat stiffly on the couch in a navy dress. She hadn't said more than 3 words all morning. Liam opened the door. Marissa walked in, wearing expensive perfume and a cashmere coat. She held a pink box in her hands. "Hi, baby," she said cheerfully. "Mommy missed you." "Oh." Anna didn't reply. Marissa sat across from her, placing the box on the table. "I brought your favorite snickerdoodles. With cinnamon. The way you like." Anna stared at the cookies. Marissa smiled wider. "You remember that time we made them together and the oven smoked and you started crying?" I said, "Anna, you little drama queen." "And you laughed." "No," Anna said flatly. "You slapped me for wasting the batter. And then you locked me in the laundry room." Liam watched every second. Marissa's smile didn't fade, but her eyes flared. "That's not how it happened. You were tired. You imagined—" "I didn't imagine bruises," Anna said, voice rising. "Or broken buttons. Or eating peanut butter from the jar with my hands because you said dinner was for girls who matter." Silence. Liam could barely breathe. Anna looked her mother straight in the eye. "I'm not scared of you anymore." Marissa stood up. "This place is poisoning you." "No," Anna said. "It's saving me." Rivera's assistant hit the stop button on the recorder. Liam stepped forward. "Visitation's over." Marissa stormed out without another word. Anna, still shaking, whispered, "She'll find another way." Liam crouched beside her. "And I'll be right here. Every time." Anna leaned forward, resting her forehead against his. "I think I remember what hope feels like now," she whispered. "It's not big. It's just not empty." And that was enough for today. Snow had returned to Boston, coating the city in soft white silence. From the windows of the penthouse, everything below looked still, like the world had paused just long enough to let them breathe. But inside the apartment, tension had taken root again, silent and coiled. Anna hadn't spoken much since the supervised visitation with her mother. It was as if the encounter had scraped open old wounds she'd worked so hard to bury. She still ate her pancakes, still hugged George the llama, but something had changed. Liam noticed it most at night. She didn't want the lights off. She'd wake up more often, sometimes crying, sometimes just staring at the ceiling. That evening, he found her at the kitchen table with a blank piece of paper and a chewed pencil in her hand. "What are you working on?" he asked gently, pouring tea into 2 mugs. Anna didn't look up. "You said court is in a week, right? 5 days now." She took a deep breath. "Do I get to talk? In the courtroom?" Liam hesitated. "That depends. Rivera said it's up to the judge. Sometimes they prefer to hear from adults." Anna frowned. "But it's about me. Why don't I get a say?" Liam set the mugs down, one in front of her. "That's a fair question. What would you want to say?" She tapped her pencil against the table. "I don't think I could say it out loud. But maybe I could write it." Liam leaned closer. "To who?" Anna met his eyes. "The judge." "Well," he smiled slowly. "Then that's exactly what you should do." The letter took 3 hours and 3 tries. Anna wrote in silence, occasionally pausing to erase, reread, or just sit still and breathe. Liam didn't interrupt. He stayed close, answering emails, reading court documents, but mostly just listening to the scratching of her pencil. Finally, she folded the paper carefully, slid it into an envelope, and wrote in neat block letters. "To Judge Holloway." Do you want me to read it?" Liam asked. She thought for a moment, then shook her head. "Not yet." She placed the envelope on the counter like it was sacred. "I want her to read it first." The next morning, Rivera picked up the envelope in person. "She wrote it herself?" he asked, holding it carefully. "No edits," Liam confirmed. "She didn't even let me peek." Rivera nodded. "I'll file it under personal statement. Judges don't always allow it into formal record. But Holloway's got a reputation for listening to children. She might even call Anna into chambers. Would you be there?" Liam asked. "If she is, I will be." Anna, overhearing from the hallway, called out, "Tell her not to wear perfume." Rivera chuckled. "I'll pass that along." The following days passed in a strange rhythm, calm on the surface. But under it, nerves hummed. Liam and Jasmine made sure Anna's schedule stayed normal. Breakfast at 8, school packets at 9, walks in the afternoon if the snow wasn't too thick. Anna kept drawing. Her newest piece showed a tiny version of herself holding a shield twice her size. On the shield, written in crayon, "Truth." "What's the sword?" Liam asked, pointing to the stick she'd drawn in her other hand. "That's hope," Anna said simply. 2 days before the final hearing, Rivera called with an update. Her mother filed an emergency petition. Liam sat up straight. To do what? To push for full custody immediately. Claims Anna's been manipulated. That your media appearances were self-serving. She attached a video clip of Anna from the Channel 7 interview. She agreed to the interview. Liam said, anger rising. Rivera didn't miss a beat. She's playing it like a script. She wants to control the last scene. Liam ran a hand through his hair. Can they use that against Anna? They'll try, but what we have Anna's letter, the medical records, the visitation footage tells the real story. I just got off the phone with Holloway's clerk. She read Anna's letter. Liam waited. She cried. The night before court, Liam couldn't sleep. He stood in the hallway outside Anna's room, listening to her soft breathing. Her nightlight cast stars on the ceiling. George, the llama, was tucked under one arm. Her other hand was curled around a photograph one Jasmine had printed last week. It was of Anna and Liam in the park, laughing, mid-snowball fight. He stepped inside quietly, pulled her blanket up to her chin, and whispered, "You are stronger than anyone I've ever known." Anna stirred slightly but didn't wake. Liam sat at her desk and looked at the newest sketch. It was them, but this time, there was a third figure behind them. A woman with silver hair and kind eyes, holding a scale. The caption read, "The judge who saw." Liam blinked back tears. For so long, His world had been built around silence. After losing Rachel and Caroline, he'd learned to live in echoes. But this little girl had come in like a storm, scattering everything, and now he couldn't imagine a life without her. Court was packed. Not with cameras. Judge Holloway had ordered all media be banned, but with advocates, attorneys, CPS reps, and one woman in the back clutching a crucifix. Marissa. Anna wore the navy dress again. Her chin was high. She didn't look scared. When called, she walked up with Rivera beside her. Holloway greeted her with a soft smile. "Anna, I received your letter," she said. Anna nodded. "I meant every word. Would you like to read it aloud for the record?" Anna paused. Then she nodded and opened the folded paper. "My name is Anna Jefferson. I used to think I didn't matter, that I was born wrong, or broken. My mama told me that so many times, I believed it. But Mr. Liam told me something different, that being brave doesn't mean you're not scared, it means you still stand up anyway." She glanced toward Liam, then back to the judge. "I want to stay where I'm loved, not just tolerated, where I'm not the other twin, or the mistake. I don't want new toys or clothes. I just want someone who won't leave. And Mr. Liam has never left." She folded the paper again. The courtroom was silent. Judge Holloway took a breath. "Thank you, Anna. You've been very brave." She turned to both legal teams. "I have reviewed every piece of evidence. From CPS, from the visitation logs, from the child's statement, and from the medical records. A pause. My ruling is as follows." Liam's heart thudded. "In the interest of the child's emotional and physical well-being, and given the substantial documentation of past abuse, I am granting full and permanent guardianship to Mr. Liam Rhodes." Anna's eyes widened. A murmur spread across the room. Marissa stood, but security held her back. Judge Holloway looked at Anna once more. "You are no longer invisible, young lady." Anna whispered, "Thank you." She ran down the aisle straight into Liam's arms. And in that moment, as the gavel struck wood, a chapter closed. But for Anna and Liam, the real story was just beginning. The snow had started to melt by the time Liam and Anna returned home. The city looked softer, less guarded. The sky was a rare winter blue, and the air no longer felt like it weighed grief. In the car ride back, Anna sat with her legs tucked under her, hands folded in her lap, still in the navy dress she'd worn to court, but now with a different expression. This time, there was peace in her eyes. A calm that came not from silence, but from certainty. Liam kept glancing at her through the rearview mirror. She caught him once. "You keep looking like I'm gonna float away," she said, trying to sound casual. "I'm just making sure you're still real," Liam said, smiling, "because I'm not letting a judge's ruling be the end of our story. It's just the beginning." Anna looked out the window. "So, what happens now?" "Now," Liam said, turning the car down their street. "Now we build a life." The first thing they did when they got home was unpack her new room. No more guest room. This one had her name on the door. Anna's room. Hand-painted in shades of purple and silver. Jasmine had arranged it while they were at court, a surprise. Walls covered in soft lavender paint, her favorite books lining a shelf, a small desk in the corner with watercolor paints already laid out. But the centerpiece was the bed, a full-size frame, wrapped in a duvet covered in stars. Anna stood in the doorway for a long time, just taking it in. "It's all yours," Liam said, watching her. "Forever?" "Forever." She stepped inside and ran her hand along the bookshelf, then the bedspread, then sat on the rug in the middle of the room. "I've never had a room that didn't belong to someone else first. You have one now." A moment passed. Then she asked quietly, "Can I put my drawings on the wall?" "You can paint the walls if you want." Her eyes widened. "You mean it?" "I do. This is your space now. You make the rules." She nodded solemnly. "Then rule number 1, no yelling. Rule number 2, no pretending." Liam held up a hand. "Deal." Over the next few days, life shifted gently, without the weight of court and lawyers. Without the looming threat of being taken away, Anna began to settle in, not just physically, but emotionally. She started school again, this time online, easing back into a routine with the help of a patient counselor and teachers who understood trauma. She liked math, but she loved art. Every afternoon, She drew at her desk, humming to herself, sometimes soft gospel songs she'd heard in the back pews when her mother still dragged her to church, sometimes pop songs she made up on the spot. One evening, she brought Liam a sketch she had just finished. It was of the courthouse, but instead of being gray and cold, it was drawn in warm tones, sunlight pouring in through windows, flowers blooming on the judge's bench, and in the center, a tall man with a shield and a tiny girl holding his hand. Underneath, in block letters, she'd written, "Home isn't a place, it's a person." Liam looked at it for a long time. "May I frame this?" he asked. "Only if it goes in the hallway where people can see it." "Deal." But not everything healed quickly. One night, about a week later, Liam woke to the sound of crying. He found Anna curled under her desk, arms wrapped around George the llama, eyes wide with panic. "I dreamt I was back there," she whispered. "In the closet. And she said I had to stay there until I learned how to be lovable." Liam knelt down and wrapped her in a blanket. "You don't ever have to go back there. Not in real life. And if the dreams come, I'll be here when you wake up." She leaned into him. "I used to cry so quietly," she said, "because if I cried too loud, she'd come back and make it worse." Liam's heart ached. He rocked her slowly. "Cry as loud as you want here. Break the ceiling if you have to." She smiled faintly, through tears. "You're weird. You're brave." She didn't go back to her bed that night. She slept curled on the couch, with Liam beside her, both of them under the same blanket, the television playing reruns of old cartoons until sunrise. Spring began to stretch its arms across the city. Trees budded. The parks slowly greened. And with the change of season came another change in Anna. She asked if they could visit Caroline's tree. It was a weeping willow Liam had planted years ago in the city garden, where a small engraved stone read, "In loving memory of Caroline Rhodes, brave, kind, unforgettable." He hadn't taken anyone there since, but when Anna asked, he said yes. They brought 2 paper cranes she had folded herself, one for Caroline, and one, Anna said, for the part of me that's finally free. As they stood by the stone, Anna knelt and whispered something no one else could hear. Then she placed her crane beside it. "She would have liked you," Liam said after a long silence. Anna took his hand. "I like her too." And as they walked away, for the first time, Liam didn't feel like he was leaving Caroline behind. He felt like he was bringing her forward with Anna beside him. One evening, Liam got a letter in the mail. Handwritten, thick envelope. No return address. Inside was a single sheet of paper. "You stole my daughter. This isn't over." It wasn't signed, but he knew. He didn't show it to Anna. Instead, he called Rivera. The message was logged, documented, and filed under harassment. "She's trying to pull you back into the storm," Rivera warned. "She won't succeed," Liam replied. "She lost the legal war. I won't let her win in shadows." Zell. Still, that night, Liam checked the locks twice. But in Anna's room, she slept peacefully curled in a blanket of stars, crayon-sketched dreams fluttering against her walls. She didn't hear the wind rattle the windows. She didn't see Liam's hand hover near the light switch, then pull back. She just slept, safe. Finally, truly, safe. The sun rose over Boston with a softness that hinted at summer. Though it was only late March, Liam stood by the kitchen counter, slicing strawberries with practiced precision, preparing breakfast the way Anna liked tiny pancakes in the shape of stars, with a smiley face made of fruit. It was Anna's 8th birthday. At least, the first one she'd be celebrating properly. She padded into the kitchen in fuzzy slippers, blinking against the morning light. Her curly hair was a wild halo, and George the llama was tucked under her arm as usual. "Morning, birthday girl," Liam said, flipping the last pancake onto her plate. She stared at it, then looked up at him. "You remembered." "I'd forget my own name before I forgot that," he said with a wink. Anna sat at the counter slowly, her expression unreadable. Liam poured her juice. "You okay?" She picked at a strawberry, voice small. "I've never had a party before." "Well," Liam said, reaching into the drawer and pulling out a folded note card. "I have some news." She took it carefully and opened it. Inside, in big, colorful letters, "You're invited to Anna's birthday extravaganza." Anna blinked. This is for me? It is, Liam said. It's just a few kids from the neighborhood, no clowns, I promise. Jasmine helped organize it. There'll be a cake, music, art stations, and yes, before you ask, bubble wands. Anna's lips twitched. You remembered the bubbles. I remember everything. She was quiet for a moment, then she whispered. What if I mess it up? You won't. What if they don't like me? Liam knelt beside her chair. Anna, you are the most unforgettable person I've ever met. You could walk into a room full of astronauts, and they'd ask you to be the captain. She snorted at that. That's not even how astronauts work. He laughed. Point is, you don't need to be anything but yourself today. That's more than enough. She bit her lip, then nodded slowly. Okay, but can I wear the purple dress? The one with the glitter? Yeah, the sparkly one that makes me look like a shooting star. Absolutely. By noon, the rooftop garden of the apartment building had been transformed. Colorful banners waved in the breeze, tables were stacked with art supplies, and a big purple cake sat under a tent, surrounded by tiny jars of sprinkles. Children began arriving, some from the neighborhood, others from the community center Liam supported. Most of them were shy at first, but the sight of glitter glue and face paint worked its usual magic. Anna stood by the entrance with Jasmine, wearing the sparkly purple dress and silver sneakers. She clutched a homemade sign that read, "Welcome to my party. No bullies allowed." Liam watched from a few feet away as the first girl approached a short redhead with braces and a Batman t-shirt. I like your dress, the girl said. I like your shirt, Anna replied. Wanna paint unicorns? Anna hesitated, then nodded. Yeah, but only if mine can have wings. Deal. Just like that. Anna was pulled into the circle. For the next 2 hours, laughter ruled the rooftop. Kids painted, danced, ran after bubbles, and built cardboard castles. Liam caught Anna giggling uncontrollably after being hit with a whipped cream pie during a game Jasmine organized. It was chaos. Beautiful chaos. But the highlight came when Anna stood beside the cake, 8 candles flickering. Liam cleared his throat. Everyone quiet for a second. The kids hushed. Cameras from a local non-profit recorded discreetly. They were doing a short piece on foster advocacy. With Anna and Liam's permission, Liam placed a hand gently on Anna's shoulder. Before we sing, Anna, I just want to say watching you grow this past month has been the best gift I've ever received. You're smart, brave, funny, and more than anything, you're free now. This is your life, and today we celebrate you. Anna's cheeks flushed. One of the boys shouted, "Make a wish." She looked at the candles. Liam asked, "Do you want us to sing?" "No," she said. "Not yet." She turned to the crowd. "I want to say something first." Silence fell again. Anna looked around at the kids, then the adults, then at Liam. I didn't always think birthdays were real. Not for people like me. My mom said girls with faces like mine didn't get parties, or cake. She said I should be quiet and grateful I wasn't thrown away. The silence deepened. Some of the adults froze. Anna continued, "But that's not true. I know that now. Because I'm here. Because someone didn't throw me away." He listened. He stayed. And now I get cake. And glitter. And unicorns. And this, she gestured around. This is my real life now. And I'm not going back. She turned to Liam. Okay. Now you can sing. Everyone sang. Anna blew out all 8 candles in one breath. Then she whispered, just loud enough for Liam to hear. I wished for nothing. Because I already have everything. That night, after the last kid had gone home and the sun had dipped below the skyline, Anna sat on the couch in her pajamas, hair messy from running. Cheeks still sticky with frosting. Liam sat beside her, exhausted but smiling. Best birthday ever? He asked. The only real one, she said. She leaned her head against his arm. Did you ever think you'd have a kid again? Liam paused. Not after Caroline. I didn't think I could handle the hope again. Losing her broke something I didn't know could break. Anna looked up at him. But you tried again. With me. I didn't try, he said. I just said yes when you reached out your hand. She was quiet for a moment. Then, "Do you think people like my mom can ever change?" Liam sighed. "I think some do, and some don't, but either way, it's not your job to fix her. It's your job to live." Anna nodded. "Okay. Then I'm gonna live real big." "You already are." She smiled, then whispered, "Thank you." "For what?" "For being the kind of grown-up that proves not all of them are scary." Liam blinked back the emotion. "And thank you for reminding me what joy looks like." They sat in silence, watching the last light fade, and in the quiet of that night, Liam understood something deeper than any courtroom ruling or legal document. Anna wasn't just his responsibility. She was his reason. And for the first time since his world had shattered years ago, Liam Rhodes was whole again. 3 weeks after Anna's birthday, life had finally settled into something resembling normal. Not perfect, not easy, but real. Liam and Anna had their routines now: morning breakfasts, online school, weekend art projects, and their favorite new tradition, Friday night movie and milkshake marathons. It was a rainy Thursday when the first crack appeared. Jasmine was in the kitchen, reviewing some paperwork with Liam while Anna sketched quietly in her room. The television played softly in the background. Then a voice cut through the living room, too familiar to be coincidence. "This story is far from over," said a woman in a grainy news clip. "That man exploited my daughter for media attention. He turned my child into a symbol for his own redemption arc." Liam's blood ran cold. He turned toward the screen. Channel 3 had aired a segment, unauthorized, sensationalized, and edited to provoke outrage. Footage from Anna's birthday party, where cameras had been strictly regulated, had somehow been leaked. The camera panned to Marissa outside a courthouse, flanked by a man in a tailored suit. "I was suffering from postpartum trauma," she said, voice trembling with affected sincerity. "I made mistakes, but I never stopped loving my child, and I never gave anyone permission to raise her in my place." Jasmine muted the screen. "This wasn't supposed to happen." "Who leaked the footage?" Liam asked, already grabbing his phone. "I don't know, but whoever it was violated every agreement we signed with that nonprofit." Anna appeared in the doorway, her expression tight. She was on television again. Liam crossed to her quickly. "Hey, it's okay. You're safe." "She said I was stolen." Liam knelt. "You weren't. You were seen. There's a difference." Anna looked up at him. "Is she going to come back?" "She already tried," Jasmine said. "And the court said no. She doesn't get to undo that." But Anna didn't look convinced. That night, she refused to sleep in her own room. She curled up on the couch with her blanket and George the llama, eyes fixed on the front door like she expected it to burst open. The next morning, Rivera called. "We've got a situation." "I saw the segment," Liam said. "What's she trying to do now?" "She's filed an appeal with a private judge in a different county. It's a long shot, but if the new judge considers the media coverage as evidence of ongoing trauma, we could be forced into another hearing." Liam rubbed his temples. "This woman doesn't quit." "No, she doesn't. But here's the thing, she's not trying to win Anna back." "Not really." "Then what is she trying to do?" "Punish you," Rivera said simply, "and keep herself in the spotlight." "Oh." Liam looked toward the living room, where Anna was quietly eating cereal in her pajamas, pretending not to listen. "She's using Anna as a weapon." "Yes. But we've got a defense." "Which is?" "Anna herself." Over the weekend, Liam and Anna sat on the balcony, watching rain streak the glass. "I don't want to go back to court," she said quietly. "I don't want to talk to people who don't believe me." "You might not have to," Liam said, "but Rivera thinks the judge would be willing to hear from you again. Privately, this time, just a conversation in chambers." Anna hugged her knees. "She lies so good. She smiles like nothing happened, like I'm just confused." Liam nodded slowly. "Sometimes abusers are really good at pretending. They fool everyone, even people who should know better. That's not your fault. What if the judge believes her? Then we'll speak the truth louder." Anna was quiet for a long time. Finally, she whispered, "I'm not scared of her anymore, but I hate that she's still part of my story. You get to write the ending." She looked up at him. "Then I want it to say she didn't win." The new hearing was set 2 weeks later. This time, The courtroom was quieter, more controlled. No media, no spectators, just a judge named Marcus Wynne, a calm, middle-aged man with kind eyes, and a reputation for thoroughness. Liam testified first, so did Jasmine, then a CPS representative, then, finally, Anna. She walked into chambers alone with Rivera. Liam waited outside, heart pounding. Inside, Judge Wynne smiled gently. "Thank you for coming, Anna. I just want to ask you a few questions." Anna nodded. "I read your last letter. It was brave and honest. Do you feel safe where you live now?" "Yes." "Do you feel loved?" She nodded again. "More than I knew people could be loved." Judge Wynne leaned forward. "If I asked you what you want, not what anyone else wants, what would you say?" "I want to stay with Liam, forever. He doesn't make me earn love. He just gives it." The judge smiled faintly. "That's a beautiful way to say it," Anna added. "And I want her to stop showing up. Even on television. Even in my head." Judge Wynne paused. "I can't promise you she'll never speak again. But I can promise she won't have power over your life." Anna whispered, "That's enough." Oh. 2 days later, the ruling came in writing. Final. Unappealable. Marissa's motion was denied. All visitation rights were permanently revoked. She was barred from approaching Anna or Liam under a lifetime restraining order. Liam read it out loud in the kitchen. Anna, sitting on the counter, didn't say anything at first. Then she exhaled. It was the kind of breath you don't realize you've been holding for years. "She can't reach me anymore," she said. "Never again." Liam replied. She looked out the window, where the first buds of spring were pushing through the dirt. "Can we go plant something?" she asked. "Right now?" "Yeah, a flower, or a tree, or maybe just something tiny, something new." Liam smiled. "Let's go to the garden store." She jumped down from the counter, George in hand. "Can it be purple?" "It can be anything you want." And together, they stepped into the sun, not looking back. Because some chapters don't get erased. But they do get rewritten, and this time, Anna would be the one holding the pen. The tiny lavender plant sat in the center of a clay pot, its petals trembling slightly in the breeze. Anna knelt in the rooftop garden, hands covered in dirt, sleeves rolled up, eyes focused with the kind of care that could only come from someone who had once been made to feel disposable. Liam crouched beside her, holding a small watering can. "You sure you want to name it?" Anna nodded solemnly. "Every living thing deserves a name." What'll it be then?" She looked at the plant for a long moment, her brow furrowed. Then, with quiet certainty, she whispered, "Hope." Liam smiled. "Perfect." They watered Hope together, surrounding it with small stones Anna had collected from walks in the park, each painted with tiny words. Brave. Loved. Enough. As the sun dipped behind the buildings, Anna sat cross-legged on the garden bench and leaned her head on Liam's shoulder. "She's really gone now, isn't she?" "She is," Liam said. "The courts made it official. But the fear, that might take longer to go. I don't want to be afraid forever." "You won't be. Fear gets quieter the more you speak the truth." Anna looked up at him. "Can truth be a superpower?" "It's the strongest one there is." She nodded like she believed it. And for once, she did. That night, after dinner and bath time, Anna came into the living room holding a shoebox. She placed it carefully on the coffee table and looked at Liam. "I want to do something." "What's in the box?" She opened it. Inside were folded papers, old drawings, and a worn-out bracelet. A note written in a child's scrawl. A cracked plastic comb. A tiny purple hair clip. "These are the things I kept when I was scared," she said. "Things I used to remind myself I was still me." Liam sat beside her, silent. "I want to let them go," she continued. "Not forget them, but release them, so they don't own me anymore." She handed him a matchbox. "I thought we could burn them, like a goodbye." Liam hesitated. "Are you sure?" "Yes, because now I have new things, real things." They went up to the rooftop again. Jasmine joined them, holding a small metal bowl. Together, they placed each item inside the note. the comb, the drawings. Anna paused at the bracelet. She gave me this once, she said softly. Then took it back the next day. Said I didn't deserve pretty things. Ugh. She held it tightly. Liam gently extended his hand. It's your call. Anna looked at the bracelet, then at the lavender plant growing a few feet away. She was wrong. She dropped it into the bowl. Liam lit a match. The flames were small at first, then grew. They all stood quietly, watching as the items burned, not with hatred, but with reverence. Like old ghosts finally given permission to rest. When it was done, Anna whispered, "Goodbye." Jasmine wiped away a tear. Liam wrapped his arm around Anna's shoulder. "You're free." "I feel it now," Anna said. For real. In the weeks that followed, something remarkable happened. Anna began to laugh more real, full laughter that echoed through the apartment. She sang while brushing her teeth. She made pancakes on Saturdays, insisting on pouring the batter herself. At school, her teachers sent glowing updates. She'd made friends in her virtual class. She volunteered to lead a group project on Harriet Tubman, and had even read her own poem aloud during a digital assembly. She titled it "Unseen Doesn't Mean Unworthy," Jasmine told Liam one afternoon. The whole room went silent. Liam smiled. She's telling her story, better than most adults ever could. Still, not every moment was perfect. Some nights, Anna still had bad dreams. She still jumped at loud noises. She still froze when someone raised their voice, even on television. But now, she talked about it. She asked questions. She let people hold her hand when it hurt. And slowly, day by day, her roots grew deeper. One evening, as the first signs of summer crept into the air, Anna stood in front of Liam. A serious look on her face. "I want to change my name," she said. Liam's eyebrows rose. "Oh, to what?" She pulled a piece of paper from her pocket and handed it to him. On it was scrawled in her neatest handwriting, "Anna Rhodes." Liam stared at the paper, silent. "I know it doesn't fix everything," she said. "But I want it to be mine. A name that means safety." His voice caught in his throat. "Are you sure?" She nodded. "I don't want to carry her name anymore. I want to carry yours." Liam kneeled, taking her hands. "Then let's make it official." The paperwork moved quickly. Rivera fast-tracked the petition, citing the circumstances and the child's clear emotional need. Within a month, the court approved it. On the day the certificate arrived, Anna ran her fingers over the embossed paper like it was treasure. "I'm really me now," she said. "You always were," Liam replied. "But now the world knows it too." She hung the certificate on her bedroom wall, right above her desk. Below it, she placed a photo of her and Liam from the birthday party laughing, frosting smeared across their cheeks. The caption she wrote in marker, "Love isn't given, it's chosen." That weekend, they visited Caroline's tree again. This time, Anna brought a small card she'd made herself. On the front, a drawing of 3 figures, Caroline, Liam, and Anna, all holding hands beneath the willow tree. Inside, in bold letters, she'd written, "Thank you for making space for me in his heart." Liam read it, eyes brimming. Anna placed the card at the base of the tree, then stood with Liam for a long while. "She would have been my sister, huh?" Anna asked. "She would have loved you." "I think she still does. I think she helped send me here." Liam squeezed her hand. "I wouldn't be surprised." They stood in silence, wind rustling the branches overhead. The leaves danced like they were whispering something sacred. Then Anna said, "We should plant another tree someday, one with big roots." "We will," Liam said, "for the next girl who needs to feel seen." Anna looked up. "You think there'll be more?" "There are always more. But now, we know how to love them better." And with that, they walked back toward home one step at a time. Toward a future neither of them had planned for, but both had chosen. Because love doesn't follow a script. It grows where it's planted. And now, it had bloomed. The summer morning crept in quietly, with soft beams of light slipping between the blinds. Anna sat at the small desk in her room, still wearing her Star Wars pajamas, her hair a sleepy mess of curls. The apartment was peaceful. George the llama was perched beside her, one button eye forever watching. Anna tapped the pencil against her notebook. A new one with a purple cover Liam had given her 2 days earlier with the words, "Write the world you want to live in," printed on the front. She was writing a letter. Not to a judge, not to a friend, and not to Liam. To her mother. She hadn't planned to do it. The idea had come to her in a dream, where she was standing in the old kitchen, holding a bowl of cereal. Except this time she was tall, strong, and unafraid. Her mother sat at the table, silent. And Anna had spoken every truth she'd never dared to say. Now, she was trying to put that dream into words. "Dear Mom, you used to say I was broken, that I was too quiet, too soft, too strange. You said I'd never matter. But I do. You told me love had to be earned. That girls like me, girls with birthmarks and questions, were hard to love. But you were wrong. I know what love feels like now. It feels like pancakes on Saturday morning and someone waiting in the hallway when the nightmares come. It feels like a name I chose. A home that listens. A voice that doesn't have to scream to be heard. You hurt me, but I won't carry your hurt anymore. I forgive you, not because you asked, but because I'm free." Anna stared at the letter for a long time, then folded it carefully and tucked it inside the back of the notebook. She didn't plan to send it, but she needed to know it existed, just like she now knew she existed not as someone's secret or mistake, but as someone whole. Downstairs, Liam was on the phone with Jasmine, discussing logistics for an upcoming event, a charity gala benefiting children in foster care. The nonprofit had invited Anna to speak. A short speech, 5 minutes, voluntary. "She's young," Liam said. "It's a lot to ask." "You don't have to ask," Jasmine replied. "She already said yes." Liam blinked. "She did? She told me yesterday. Said if her story helps one other kid not feel invisible, then it's worth it." He ran a hand through his hair. "She's something else." "No," Jasmine said. "She's someone finally allowed to become who she was always meant to be." That night, over dinner, Liam brought it up gently. "Jasmine said you agreed to speak at the gala." Anna shrugged, spearing a meatball. "I want to." "You sure? It'll be a big crowd." "I don't have to tell everything," she said. "Just the parts that matter." Liam nodded. "And if it gets too hard, you'll be there?" "Front row." Then I'll be okay." She reached across the table and placed her hand over his. "I want people to see that a kid doesn't have to stay broken just because someone tried to break them." He swallowed hard, trying not to show the tears that threatened. "You're already doing that, every day," Anna smiled. "Then I guess I better wear something sparkly." The night of the gala, the ballroom glowed with warm lighting and soft music. Men in tuxedos and women in gowns filled the space, sipping wine and flipping through programs. Near the back of the room was a small stage with a single microphone. Anna stood behind the curtain in a pale blue dress, hair done in a soft braid. Her purple notebook clutched to her chest. She wore a small silver pin Liam had given her shaped like a star. "You okay?" Liam whispered, kneeling beside her. "My hands are shaking," she said. "That's what brave feels like sometimes." Anna took a breath. "She's probably watching." "She might be," Liam said. "But this is your voice now." The announcer called her name. She walked to the podium, small and steady, notebook in hand. At first, the microphone was too tall. A kind woman adjusted it for her. Then silence. Hundreds of eyes. Anna opened the notebook, hands trembling slightly. Then she began. "My name is Anna Rhodes," she said, "and I used to think I didn't matter." A murmur swept the room, but Anna didn't flinch. "I used to think love was something you had to beg for. That it only came when you were quiet enough, or pretty enough, or perfect enough. I was wrong." She paused, looked up. "I live with a man named Liam. He isn't my real dad. But he's the first person who stayed. He taught me that family isn't about who you're born to. It's about who shows up." Liam watched from the crowd, his heart in his throat. "I came here tonight to say one thing," Anna said. "If you're a kid like I was, scared, invisible, waiting for someone to choose, you don't give up. There are people out there who will see you. And when they do, you get to start over." She closed the notebook. "And if you're someone who can help do it, because one person made all the difference for me, maybe that person is you." The crowd stood, Applause rose like a wave. Anna didn't smile right away. She stood still, letting it wash over her, grounding herself. Then she looked at Liam. He stood too, clapping, eyes full. When she walked off stage, she ran straight into his arms. "You did it," he whispered. "I said the parts that matter. That's all that ever matters." She looked up. "Next time, you talk." Liam laughed. "Deal." Later that night, back at home, Anna placed the silver star pin on her nightstand. "What should we do tomorrow?" she asked, curling under the blankets. "Sleep in? Too boring. Eat cake for breakfast? Getting warmer. Skydiving?" Anna laughed. "Maybe just pancakes and painting." "Perfect." She turned on her side. Facing the wall where her new drawing hung a field of children holding hands, the words, "Chosen, not broken," written above them. Liam stood in the doorway for a while, just watching her breathe. This was not the life he thought he'd be living at 45, but it was the one that had saved him. And in saving her, he'd saved himself. Outside, the stars blinked softly. Inside, the light never went out. The summer heat clung to the sidewalks like syrup. Boston buzzed with Life Street musicians filled corners with jazz. Vendors sold lemonade from makeshift stands, and families picnicked in the common. But in Liam's apartment, the air was still and oddly heavy. Anna sat at the dining table, silently peeling the wrapper off a granola bar. Her feet swung above the floor, eyes locked on the window, distant. Liam noticed he'd seen this shift before, the quiet withdrawal, the sudden stillness in her. It meant something was on her mind, and it had been building for days. He put down the stack of papers he was reviewing and walked over. "You want to talk about it?" She didn't look at him. "There's a letter." He tilted his head. "A letter?" Anna reached into her backpack and handed him a crumpled envelope. No return address. The handwriting was messy, but unmistakable. Liam's jaw tensed as he opened it. Inside was a single sheet of lined paper. "Anna, I saw you on television. I heard what you said. I'm sorry if I hurt you. I never meant to. I didn't know how to be a mother, but I miss you. I miss your voice. I miss the way you used to laugh at cartoons. I still have your baby shoes. The purple ones with the little bows. I keep them by my bed. If you ever want to talk, just once, I'd be here. Love, Mom." Liam read it twice, then set it down slowly. He looked at Anna. "Did you read it?" She nodded. "Last night." He sat beside her. "How do you feel?" She shrugged, but her voice was tight. Angry, confused, and part of me wondered if she really meant it. Liam didn't answer right away. He knew too well the power of words from the people who hurt you, how they could wrap themselves in softness, even when the wounds were still bleeding. "You don't owe her anything," he said gently. "Not a reply, not a visit, not your peace of mind." "Ugh, I know," Anna whispered, "but I also feel like if I don't see her just once, I'll always wonder. Not for her. For me." Liam nodded slowly. "Then we do it on your terms, somewhere safe. With someone you trust." Anna hesitated. "Could you come too? But just sit nearby. Not in the room." Of course. The visit was arranged for the following Tuesday. It would take place in a monitored room at the city's Family Services building. Jasmine would accompany them, along with a neutral counselor trained to mediate sensitive reunions. Liam spent the weekend making sure Anna knew she could cancel at any time. On the morning of the visit, Anna dressed carefully. She wore a white dress with tiny sunflowers on the hem and a small silver necklace Liam had given her. She didn't say much during the car ride, just held George the llama tight to her chest. When they arrived, she paused in the hallway. "Do you think she'll cry?" she asked. "Maybe," Liam said gently. "What if I don't?" "That's okay." She turned to him. "You remember the first time you saw me? Outside the courtroom?" "I do. I didn't cry then either." "I know." Anna reached for his hand. "But I wanted to." He gave her hand a gentle squeeze. "Whatever you feel in there, whatever happens, it's valid. You get to walk out with your head high." She nodded. "Okay, I'm ready." The room was quiet, almost sterile. A round table, 2 chairs, a box of tissues, a clock ticking too loud. Marissa was already seated when Anna walked in. She looked different, her hair shorter, her eyes tired, a forced calmness settled over her face. "Hi," she said, standing. Anna didn't move to hug her. Marissa slowly sat back down. "You've grown." Anna pulled out the chair across from her, placed George on the table, and sat down. She said nothing. "I wasn't sure you'd come," Marissa said. Anna's voice was clear. "I almost didn't." There was silence. Then Marissa leaned forward. "I wanted to say I'm sorry. I know those words don't fix anything, but I'm saying them anyway." Anna's eyes didn't waver. "Do you remember locking me in the closet?" Marissa blinked. I didn't know what else to do. You wouldn't stop crying, and I was overwhelmed. No one helped me." "That's not an excuse," Anna said, her voice sharper. "You said I was a burden, that I was ugly, that I ruined everything." Marissa looked down. "I was wrong." "I know," Anna said. She took a deep breath. "You know what's strange? I still remember the way your perfume smelled, like mint and powder. I used to pretend it meant you loved me." Tears filled Marissa's eyes. Anna continued. "But now I know love doesn't smell like anything. It feels like safety. And you never gave me that." "I didn't know how," Marissa whispered. "I don't care anymore," Anna said. "I didn't come for your apology. I came to tell you I'm not scared of you." Marissa looked up, stunned. "I came so you could see what you lost," Anna added. "And to tell you that I'm okay. Not because of you, but in spite of you." She stood, picked up George, and turned toward the door. Marissa choked out, "I still love you. Anna Pauste." "I know," she said, "but your love hurt me." And then she walked out. In the hallway, Liam stood as she emerged. Anna walked straight into his arms, hugging him tightly. "You were right," she said. "About what?" "I didn't need to cry." Later that night, they sat on the balcony with lemonade and a blanket wrapped around them. The stars were dim behind city haze. But Anna pointed one out anyway. "See that one?" "Which?" "That tiny one near the crooked-looking one. That's me." Liam tilted his head. "You're not tiny." "I was, but I'm burning now." Liam smiled, "And always getting brighter." Anna leaned against his side. "She didn't take anything from me. She tried, but she didn't win." "No, sweetheart," Liam said softly. "She didn't." Anna looked at the sky again. "She was the first chapter," she said. "But I'm writing the rest." The end of summer had always felt like a slow farewell, soft shadows stretching longer, the scent of warm pavement fading into crisp mornings, and storefronts switching out lemonade stands for school supply banners. But for Anna, this August didn't feel like an ending. It felt like a beginning wrapped in quiet promise. She stood in front of the hallway mirror, backpack slung over one shoulder, holding a pair of sneakers in her hand. "Do they make me look too tall?" she asked Liam, tilting her head. "You're 11. You're allowed to be tall," Liam said, coming out of the kitchen with a slice of toast. "Besides, tall girls see the world first." Anna raised an eyebrow. "That sounds made up. Most good things are." He handed her the toast, and she took a bite, then smiled. "You're weird, and you're brave." The car ride to her new school was quiet. The windows were cracked to let the breeze in, and the radio hummed old soul music. Anna stared out at the rows of red brick buildings, tapping her fingers nervously against her knee. "Do you want me to walk you in?" Liam asked. Anna thought for a moment. I think I should do it myself." Liam nodded. "Okay, but I'll be here, same spot, end of the day." She opened the door, paused, and looked back. "What if no one likes me?" "They don't have to," he said. "Just the right ones will." She smiled faintly. "Okay, see you later." And with that, she walked toward the entrance, her steps sure, if slightly hesitant, as if she were testing the ground beneath her. The classroom was warm and buzzing with chatter, desks arranged in neat rows, a whiteboard covered in welcome messages and colorful cutouts of animals with motivational quotes. A girl with braids and glasses offered Anna a hesitant smile as she passed by. Anna returned it, cautiously. She took a seat near the window, placed George the llama in her bag just enough sticking out that she could still see his button eye, and began to unpack her pencil case. "Hey," a voice said. Anna looked up to see a boy with curly hair and freckles. "Is that a stuffed animal?" Anna froze. For a moment, old instincts whispered, "Hide it. Make a joke. Change the subject." But she didn't. "Yeah," she said. "His name's George. He's been with me since. A long time." The boy grinned. "That's cool. I have a rock named Tony. He's in my pocket." Anna blinked. "You carry a rock?" "Emotional support rock," he said, dead serious. Anna laughed. "That's awesome." And just like that, the fear cracked. Not gone, but loosened. That evening, back home, Anna recounted the story over spaghetti. And then he pulled Tony out and showed me he drew a smiley face on him with Sharpie. I nearly choked on my juice. Liam smiled, twirling pasta on his fork. "Sounds like you found your people." Anna shrugged. "Maybe. We'll see. First day of middle school, though. That's big." Anna looked thoughtful. Bigger than court. Smaller than forgiveness. Liam looked at her carefully. "You've been thinking about her again?" "Sometimes," Anna said quietly. "But it's different now. Before, she felt like a shadow. Now, just a closed door." Liam nodded. "Some doors need to stay closed." Anna twirled her fork. "Do you ever wish things had been different?" He took a moment to answer. "I used to. When Caroline died, I wished for everything to change. I wanted to go back, rewrite the day, undo the pain. But now, I don't wish that anymore." Anna looked up. "Why not?" "Because then I wouldn't have found you." She looked at him for a long second. "You think she would have liked me?" "I think she would have loved you. And you'd have made her laugh with those dry jokes." Anna smiled, but then turned serious. "Do you think I'll ever stop wondering why she didn't love me right?" Liam stood and walked around the table. He knelt beside her, taking her hand. "Sweetheart, that question isn't about you. It's about her, and sometimes, the truth is people can't give what they don't have. Your mother was drowning in her own pain. She couldn't see past it. Not even for you. That's not your fault. It never was." Anna blinked quickly, then nodded. "Okay." He kissed her forehead. "And you don't have to carry her story anymore. You're writing your own." Later that night, Anna sat in bed with her notebook. She'd started a new section called Truths I Know Now. Each night, she wrote one sentence. Tonight, she wrote, "Love should never make you feel small." She stared at the sentence. Then added underneath, "Real love makes space for all of you, even the messy parts." She closed the notebook and looked toward her window. A light rain had begun to fall, making the city shimmer like it was being gently washed clean. She whispered, "I'm not afraid of the rain anymore." From the living room, she could hear Liam humming as he cleaned the dishes. It was an old tune, something Motown. Safe, familiar. Anna pulled George close, closed her eyes, and let the sound carry her. The next morning, Liam found a new drawing on the fridge. It was a sketch of a sunflower, its petals a bit uneven, its stem slightly bent, but tall and reaching anyway. Above it, in block letters, Anna had written, "Even when the light feels far away, I still know where to turn." And beneath it, in smaller letters, "To the man who stayed." Liam didn't say anything. He just placed a hand on the fridge and stood there, letting the truth settle in. She was growing, not because she forgot the pain, but because she chose to keep reaching for the sun. Fall came slowly, like an old friend approaching from a distance. The heat softened, the leaves began their quiet rebellion against green, and the city shifted moods. School routines had become familiar, morning drop-offs less anxious. And Anna's laugh now echoed through the apartment, almost daily. But despite the calm, there was a question sitting quietly inside her, an old one, never fully answered. One Thursday afternoon, as Liam picked Anna up from school, she climbed into the front seat and didn't say a word. She clutched her backpack with both hands. Her face unreadable. He glanced at her. "Hey, everything okay?" Anna looked straight ahead. "Can we talk tonight?" "After dinner. Just us." "Of course," Liam said. his voice steady, but in his chest, something stirred like the slow tightening of a drum. That night, after they cleared the dishes and Jasmine had gone home, Anna sat at the kitchen table, notebook in front of her. She didn't open it. Liam sat across from her and waited. Anna looked down at her hands. Do you ever wonder what makes a person worth keeping? The question hit harder than Liam expected. He leaned forward slightly. Where's that coming from? Anna took a breath. Today in class, we had to write an essay about someone who changed our life. And a girl sitting next to me said, I don't have anyone like that. And then she looked at me and said, but you're lucky. A millionaire picked you. That's like a movie. Liam didn't speak. He just listened. She didn't mean it to be mean, but I felt weird. Like maybe people think I'm only here because you felt sorry for me. Like I was some charity case. She looked up, eyes steady. So I want to ask you something, and I want you to tell me the truth. Liam nodded. Anything. Why me? The question was simple, direct, and completely shattering. Liam leaned back in his chair, exhaled slowly, and then said, You want the truth? Anna nodded. The first time I saw you, standing outside that courthouse with your backpack and your birthmark and your arms crossed like you were trying to hold yourself together, I saw myself. Anna blinked. I saw a kid who'd been handed 1,000 reasons to give up, and still stood up straight. I saw someone who didn't want to be saved. Just seen. And I thought, if I can be the person who finally sees her right, then maybe there's hope left in the world. He paused. I didn't pick you out of guilt. I didn't pick you out of pity. I picked you because I knew, deep in my bones, that you were already someone extraordinary, and you just needed a place where you were allowed to shine. Oh, Anna looked down at the table. Her hands trembled slightly. And every day since then, Liam continued, you've proven I was right. Tears welled in her eyes, but she smiled through them. Even when I mess up? Especially when you mess up, he said. Because love isn't about never falling. It's about always having a hand to help you back up. Anna wiped her cheeks. I think I needed to hear that. I think I needed to say it. They sat in silence for a while. The good kind, the kind that holds space for healing. Then Anna said, Can I show you something? She opened her notebook and turned it around. On the page was a list. At the top, in big letters, it said, Things that make me worth keeping. Below it were bullet points. I laugh at dumb jokes. I make really good pancakes. I don't lie anymore. I can forgive. I try even when I'm scared. I love deep. I don't run away now. Liam read the list, blinking hard. There's more, she said. But that's what I have so far. He reached out and placed his hand over hers. That's more than most adults ever figure out. Anna gave a small, shaky laugh. I thought maybe I needed to keep track. You know, in case I forget again. You can forget, Liam said. I'll remember for both of us. That weekend, they went on a hike, a short trail just outside the city, where the trees wore golden crowns and the air tasted like something clean. At the highest point, they stopped at a lookout. Anna pulled out a small flat rock she'd brought from home and a black Sharpie. What's that for? Liam asked. Something Jasmine told me. She said healing isn't about forgetting the past, it's about changing how you carry it. Anna wrote on the rock, in neat capital letters, I am not what happened to me. Then she placed it carefully beneath a tree. No one will ever know it's mine, she said. But I will. Liam looked down at her. You keep finding ways to teach me things. I guess we're both still learning. As they walked back down the trail, leaves crunching beneath their feet, Anna turned suddenly and asked, When do you think I'll stop needing reminders? Liam thought for a moment. Maybe never. But one day, the reminders will feel less like survival and more like celebration. Like looking at a scar and saying, I lived through that and I'm still here. Anna nodded. I want that day. You're already on the way. They walked the rest of the trail without words, side by side. No need to explain what it meant to finally feel chosen, not out of convenience or obligation, but out of love, out of truth. And sometimes, that's all a child ever needed. Not a perfect family, not a perfect parent, just someone willing to stay and say, You are worth keeping. Always. The clouds rolled in uninvited, as storms often do. By noon, the Boston sky had darkened into slate, and the hum of city life slowed to a hush beneath the weight of a coming downpour. Liam stood by the window, one hand in his pocket, watching as raindrops began to pelt the glass. Inside the apartment, it was unusually quiet. Anna hadn't said much that morning. She'd picked at her cereal, skipped her usual cartoon, and sat in the same corner of the couch with her knees pulled to her chest. Liam knew that silence. It wasn't tired or sad, it was the kind that warned of something stirring beneath the surface. Around noon, Jasmine arrived. She brought takeout and a warm smile, but even she could sense the shift in the room. Anna offered a faint wave and went back to scribbling in her notebook. "You okay, sweetheart?" Jasmine asked gently, crouching beside her. Anna shrugged. Liam gave Jasmine a subtle shake of the head, no pressure. They let the silence breathe. It wasn't until later that the storm inside Anna finally found words. She stood in the hallway, staring at the photo wall Liam had put up months ago. It held snapshots of laughter, birthday candles, paint-stained hands, and even George the llama getting a silly party hat. "Do you think people can really change?" she asked quietly. Liam looked up from the kitchen. "Some can, some don't. Why?" She turned to face him, her voice lower now. "I got another letter." Liam's heart sank. "From her?" Anna nodded. "It came through the school's main office. The secretary gave it to me in the hallway. I didn't read it yet." Liam came over and gently took the sealed envelope from her hands. "Do you want me to look first? Number, I think I need to see it." She tore it open slowly, like peeling back the skin on an old wound. The letter was short. "Anna, I've started counseling. I'm working on myself. I don't expect you to believe me. I just wanted you to know I'm trying. There's not a day that passes that I don't regret the way I treated you. If someday you feel ready to talk again, really talk, I'd be grateful for the chance. No pressure, just hope. Love, Mom." Anna read it twice, then handed it back. Liam scanned it quickly. His expression didn't change. "What do you think?" he asked gently. "I don't know," Anna said. "I think I want to believe her, but I don't know if I should." Liam sat down beside her on the carpeted hallway floor. "You don't owe her your trust," he said. "But if you want to believe people can grow, that's a gift you give yourself. Just don't mistake her progress for your responsibility." Anna nodded, but her brow was tight. "I think part of me still wants her to be better. Even after everything. That makes you human." They sat in silence. Outside, thunder rumbled distantly. "Would it be stupid," Anna asked, "to write her back?" "No," Liam said. "It would be brave." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "But not now. Not yet. Not ever if you don't want to." "I know." She was quiet for a long time, then whispered, "Sometimes I miss the version of her I made up in my head." Liam turned to her gently. "That version was who you needed. She helped you survive, but she wasn't real. But you are." Later that evening, when the rain finally began to fall in sheets, Liam suggested an indoor game night. Jasmine brought out snacks, and Anna picked Monopoly, though she hated to lose and always accused George the llama of cheating when she landed on Boardwalk. Laughter came back, slowly. First a giggle when Liam overdramatically moaned about taxes, then a real laugh when Jasmine impersonated a grumpy banker. And eventually, the light returned to Anna's eyes. But just before bedtime, as Liam tucked her in, she asked, "Do you think it's okay if I never forgive her?" He sat at the edge of the bed. "Forgiveness isn't a requirement. It's an offering. You give it when you're ready, or not at all." Anna looked up at the ceiling. "I want peace. But I don't want to pretend nothing happened." "You don't have to. Peace doesn't come from forgetting. It comes from choosing not to carry what doesn't belong to you anymore." She reached for George and pulled him close. "I'm still scared sometimes," she said. "That maybe she's still in me. The way she made me feel. The things she said. She might have been part of your beginning," Liam said. "But she doesn't get to write the rest." Anna closed her eyes. "Can you stay for a minute?" "I'll stay as long as you need." He sat beside her, listening to the rain tapping gently against the windows. It was steady now. Softer, a lullaby for the wounded parts. Anna's breathing slowed, and just before she drifted off, she whispered, "I think I'm still healing." Liam smiled. "You are." She opened one eye. "But I think I'm winning too." He gently squeezed her hand. "You absolutely are." The following spring arrived, not with loud fanfare, but with soft signs, the first bloom on the tree outside Anna's window, the sound of kids playing in the courtyard below, the smell of fresh bread from the bakery on the corner. The apartment no longer felt like a stopover. It had become something else home, not just in location, but in soul. Anna had just turned 12. There was no party, no balloons or games, just her favorite breakfast. Handwritten notes from Liam and Jasmine tucked into her lunchbox. And a small gift. A necklace with a tiny compass charm. On the back was engraved, "You always had the map." That evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in hues of gold and blush, Anna stood on the balcony, staring into the distance. Liam joined her, handing her a glass of sparkling apple cider. "To 12, he said, raising his glass. Anna tapped hers against it. "To not being 11 anymore." They both laughed. "Do you feel older?" he asked. Anna thought about it. "I feel clearer, like I'm not carrying fog anymore." She glanced down at the necklace, fingers brushing over the compass. "I've been thinking," she said, "about everything." "Yeah?" "And I've decided. I don't need to write her back. Not because I'm angry, just because that part of my story is finished." Liam nodded. "That's your right. She'll probably always live in the back of my head." Anna added, "But I'm not letting her live in the front anymore." They stood in silence for a moment, the wind teasing her hair, the sounds of the city humming below them. "I'm proud of you," Liam said quietly. Anna smiled. "I think I'm proud of me too." A few days later, Anna stood at the front of the classroom, her palms slightly sweaty but her voice calm. It was the annual Living Museum project, where each student portrayed someone who had changed the world. Most kids chose presidents, astronauts, or famous athletes. Anna chose someone else. "My name is Anna Rhodes," she said, addressing the room full of parents, teachers, and classmates. "And I'm portraying myself." A few people laughed, thinking it was a joke, but Anna kept going. "I chose myself because I've survived things not everyone sees. And because telling the truth out loud is a kind of bravery." The room grew quiet. "I used to believe my voice didn't matter, that I had to be small to stay safe. But I've learned that the things we survive don't define us, what we do after does." She held up a drawing, her own creation. It showed a girl walking forward. Shadows behind her, stars ahead. "This is the version of me I chose. Not the scared girl, not the forgotten one, but the girl who reached for something better." When she finished, there was a moment of stillness, then applause. Not thunderous, not forced, but real, honest. Afterward, her teacher pulled Liam aside and whispered, "She's not just growing, she's leading." Liam nodded, heart full. She always was. That weekend, they visited Caroline's grave. It had been almost 2 years. Liam carried a bouquet of white tulips, Caroline's favorite, and Anna carried a folded piece of paper. They stood quietly for a few minutes, the wind soft and respectful. "Hey, Caro," Liam said softly. "We're okay." Anna knelt and placed the paper beneath a smooth rock at the base of the headstone. "I never met you," she said. "But I know you made space for me. I hope you'd be proud of the life I'm helping build here." They stayed until the sun began to lower behind the trees, casting long shadows across the grass. On the drive home, Anna asked, "Do you think she can hear us?" "I don't know," Liam said. "But I think she feels us." That night, they sat side by side on the couch, flipping through an old photo album Liam had recently unearthed from storage. Pictures of his childhood, of Caroline, of trips and laughter and long-forgotten birthdays. Anna lingered on one photo, Liam as a teenager, awkward smile, holding a trophy. "You look like you didn't want that picture taken." "I didn't," Liam said, "but now I'm glad someone did. It reminds me I've always been growing even when I didn't notice." Anna smiled and leaned her head on his shoulder. "I want to remember this," she whispered. "This version of me. Liam placed an arm around her. Then let's take a picture. He grabbed his phone, held it up, and snapped a selfie, Anna smiling genuinely. Liam grinning with pride, the soft glow of home around them. Perfect, he said. Anna studied the photo. Let's print it. Why? So I can remember what it looks like to feel safe. Duh. Later, as she got ready for bed, she pulled out her notebook one last time. She turned to the final page and wrote, Chapter 1, Survive. Chapter 2, Speak. Chapter 3, Choose. Chapter 4, Heal. Chapter 5, Lead. She stared at the words for a while, then smiled. Epilogue. Begin again. Then, in smaller letters beneath it, and again, and again, and again. When the lights went out and the apartment settled into stillness, a quiet peace wrapped itself around the space. The storm had passed, not erased, not forgotten, but weathered, together. Outside, the wind whispered through the trees. Inside, a little girl slept, no longer lost, no longer afraid, but found and free. The story of Anna teaches us that healing is not about erasing the past, but about reclaiming power over it. It reminds us that every scar carries a story, but those stories do not define who we are. With love, patience, and the courage to speak truth, even the deepest wounds can become the foundation for strength. Anna's journey shows that true family is not always bound by blood, but by those who choose to stay, believe, and walk beside us. In the end, the most powerful transformation comes when we stop surviving and begin to live.